Hello! Hello, friends. Here is a new review from Fourth Guy in Line. This is one of the Wave 6 6-inch Star Wars black figures. This is the Clone Trooper Sergeant. Now, before we open the package, I just want to do a quick comparison between the Clone Trooper Sergeant and the regular Clone Trooper. As you can see, the sculpts are very, very similar, or, identical actually. It's just a recast. Um, it's really just the paint apps that are different. Even the weaponry has some different paint apps, but is overall the same weapons. Just a slightly different paint app. So my biggest complaint when this figure came out, the original Clone Trooper, was that it was a little bland. Just not a lot of it, not a lot of detail. It was a very simple figure. Just based on looking at it from the packaging, what a difference a little color application makes. Now I know that that's it's supposed to be a basic Clone Trooper, and I'm okay with that. But it just makes a huge difference when we see some paint apps on a figure that if you're an army builder, it's great for there to be multiples, but I just have to say that just immediately my reaction to the new one was, wow, what an improvement. And it's literally just paint. So let's get her open. But before we do that, we'll take a quick look at the figure in the box. We've already looked at the front with a nice image of the Clone Trooper on the front. When we look at the back, it says Clone Trooper Sergeants are genetically engineered and trained to command Clone Trooper squads in the Grand Army of the Republic during the Clone Wars. We have a nice image of their dropship and clones running across a field. Just really nice. Again, we've gotten pretty used to this blue packaging as opposed to the orange packaging like we see here. So not a lot to talk about when it comes to the packaging, but let's see what's inside. So let's look at our Clone Trooper Sergeant. Really like the green that they chose for the paint apps. It just looks great. I would like to see more of these, and it's terrible that I'm such a sucker for these repaints, but I would like to see some, with yellow, maybe some blue. Commander Wolf would be great with his blue accents. So just a really nice paint app that fleshes out the figure. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a nice little red trim on the back of the crest on the helm. And got these little gray lines on the back of the legs. Overall, pretty much the exact same figure, but we've got some really nice paint apps. Now, one of the gripes that people have had about the original Clone Trooper is that it seems to be made out of a really kind of flimsy plastic, which is the same thing that we're seeing here. It's pretty wobbly from a plastic standpoint. But that aside, I think that they've done a wonderful job with the sculpt, which is, I said originally. But my biggest complaint with the original, other than being very plain, is that there weren't a lot of accessories. Even a removable helmet would be great to reveal the Clone Trooper underneath, or an alternate helmet would be fine too, but we don't have any of that. We do have the same two guns that were originally released with the Clone Trooper. And this one just has a separate paint application. Not a big fan of the giant the giant rifle, but this little, the smaller rifle that he carries, I really like. It's a standard rifle. Looks good in his hand. And if we actually put it in his other hand, his finger will probably hold the trigger. Which it does nicely. all in all, a nice variation on an existing figure. Again, really like the color apps. Just it'll look great, and I think that as more of these clone troopers, as I can only imagine is what's going to happen, as more of these clone troopers come out with various repaints, and hopefully getting into more of the different troopers, and maybe getting some of the more unique troopers from the Clone Wars show. I think that it's going to be nice to have a bunch of these on the shelf. But so far so good. Much better with the paint apps than it was without. A lot less generic looking. Don't get me wrong, I understand that clone troopers are supposed to look generic, but it's nice to have a little visual interest in their outfit, in their armor. And that's it. So definitely worth picking up if you're trying to pick between this one and the clone trooper that's already out. The regular clone trooper as opposed to clone trooper sergeant. I think this clone trooper sergeant, I think it's well worth picking up, just based on the fact that the visual interest and the differentiation in the paint. And that's it. I will say that the chin work is obviously a little off center. It might just be mine as opposed to everybody's, but it does look like the paint application is just a little skewed. So, and it's really visible there in the where the vocoder, I guess, is, or you can call it a goatee if you like. That's it, and that's our Clone Trooper Sergeant. Thanks for watching my review. Look for more reviews from Fourth Guy in Line.